So when I was an angry 14-year-old, I listened to angry 14-year-old music, which is kind of hilarious because the band I listened to was already around for 14 years, so I've been keeping up pace with them. Well, when I was in high school, I listened to this one band on all my road trips, AFI, A Fire Inside. And if you like horror punk and the Misfits and other things like that, you'll be like, hell yeah, AFI. So I would go on all my road trips, and I always have like a certain soundtrack for all my trips. I would go out to Columbus, Ohio, and I would listen to Black Sails in the Sunset. I would go out to Philadelphia, and I'd listen to The Art of Drowning. When I went to Ireland for about a week, I listened to Sing the Sorrow and made my aunt cry in her beer the entire time. It was the most depressing music ever. And when I went out to college, they decided to go very glam, and I listened to December Underground, and I still kind of have that hairstyle going there. So I had the best road trip of my entire life in the summer of 2005. I was in a band, and I went on Warped Tour. And I got to see so many excellent bands that I had loved all throughout high school, being an angry 14-year-old in ninth grade. By the time I was 20, I was hanging out with Fat Mike from NoFX. I was getting to see some of my heroes from Helmet play. I told Joan Jett she had a really nice ass. She slapped me for it, laughed at me, and then gave me a beer.
Yeah.
That was in Pittsburgh. 2 nights later, we're in Cleveland. She's like, hey, my drummer has got to go home. He's expecting a kid. Can you fill in? I can try. So anyways, summer 2005 was the year that AFI was actually on tour as well. And I've been spending all of my nights and all the time on the road in a van with 4 other big, sweaty dudes. And if you think I'm a big dude, you should see the rest of the guys in my van. They were Bigfoot, legitimately, and they smelled like it. I never understood and appreciated baby wipes until that tour. So we're in Pittsburgh. We're at the Starlight Pavilion. We're outside the city, and it starts to rain. And I'm walking around like a kid in a candy store, like, can you sign my stuff? Can you sign my stuff? It's excellent. And I see Smith, the brother of the guitarist from AFI. Yes. I'm gonna go and capitalize on this. So I walk over to him underneath this like little pavilion area where it starts raining really bad. He's having a cigarette. He's just like, yeah, man, what's up? I'm like, hi. How's it going? So we're sitting there and we're talking, we're having a good time. He has no clue who the hell I am. He was like, hey, yeah, you're on a tour, cool. So I see 2 of the members of AFI walk over. And it's Davey Havoc and Jade Puget. And they are like just coming over, hanging out. And I'm like, oh my God, this is half of AFI. Back when I was an angry 14-year-old, I always had an appreciation for good music. And I always thought that AFI should always cover Pat Benatar's Love's a Battlefield, because I'd love to hear Davey sing it. So I used to pester them online for years and years and years, through MySpace, through Facebook. And here I am, capitalizing, like, wait a minute, half of them are here for this. So we're having a good conversation. Davey's hair is getting all frizzy because he had his long, Robert Smith, The Cure phase then. And the rest of the band comes over. No way. So we're all hanging out underneath this squat little thing in the rain. And I just turned to them like, so when the hell are you guys gonna play Love's a Battlefield? And they all did this. You're that guy. I was like, yeah, that's me. Now they start paying attention to actually what the hell I'm saying. So they were like, oh yeah, you're from that band From Their Eyes. Yeah, you played this. You're on the Kevin Says So stage, and it was awesome. So the next night we're in Columbus, and I had to weather a very brutal overnight drive to Columbus. It was my turn to drive. I didn't have my baby wipe shower yet, and after having drinks and playing poker with Fat Mike from NoFX, yeah, it was a bleary-eyed trip. So I get over to Columbus, and we're setting up. I'm watching Helmet play, and all of a sudden I see Smith coming out of left field, tapping me on the shoulder, and he's like, hey, what are you doing? Watching the band? Come with me. Comes over and takes me over to where AFI is setting up at. And he's like, you're back here. And I thought, oh, cool, I get to stand behind stage and watch AFI play. AFI gets up there with H2O, who does an awesome cover of Madonna's Like a Prayer. So I'm seeing AFI and H2O covering like cool 80s songs that I grew up with, and I'm like, this can't get better. Until the drummer gets off the stand and says, you know how to play Love's a Battlefield? I get up and I play Love's a Battlefield with AFI. I'm scared shitless the entire time. I get done, everyone's like, hey, thanks Tim for throwing their eyes. The drummer goes to me, don't ever bother us like that again for years on that.